There is absolutely no doubt that the contribution of locals, journalists and non-journalists, has helped shift the needle in the perception of what's happening to Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. Without the finessing and editing that sometimes dilute the true reality of what is going on, the raw reality in real time, the reports seemed more authentic, more anxiety-driven, kind of giving a feel, an instantaneous feel of what the communities are going through because of shelling and pummeling with rockets. As you know, the Israelis banned international journalists from entering Gaza, which left networks and major news organizations dependent on whatever locals could provide and convey. The reports were sometimes a little raw and crude and maybe inarticulate, but they were real. And I think this has had an impact on young people all over the Western world, inciting rioting and demonstrations on campuses and propelling even Jewish liberal intellectuals to speak out against the atrocities. So this has been sadly very beneficial in the narrative and how the world perceives what's going on. The cost of having local journalists cover wars has been very high. We have lost in the region alone 232 journalists. The protection of journalists should be ironclad, sacrosanct, and something that is written into and enshrined in international law. What has happened to journalists has been recorded as war crimes in this latest episode of violence in Gaza. And though there are strong indications that these killings were actually a goal of the Israeli military, it doesn't change the fact that worldwide, this has been a trend in recent years. You look at Russia, Ukraine, you look at Myanmar, even Malta, Mexico, journalists who share inconvenient truths are being extinguished. This tendency or this impulse by armies and authoritarian regime to kind of snuff out truth seekers has to be punishable. And the punishment has to be as painful as possible. Just saying that it is in violation of international law is not enough. Perpetrators, and by that I mean governments and armies, should pay reparations to the families of reporters who have died or been maimed in these actions. And law enforcement should have a lot of muscle, be it through Interpol or other agencies, to make sure that these first responders to history are protected. And one other important point is that allowing journalists to tell the truth is the first step towards national healing and self-preservation, because pain unacknowledged will resurface and will come back to haunt us. The essence of war reporting has not changed. The foundational principles of how to approach victims or casualties or survivors and the ethical quandaries about them are the same. But what has really improved is the sophistication and tools and equipment at the disposal of journalists. And by that, I don't only mean that you can video film with your telephone or your iWatch, but that there are satellite images and photos that help corroborate or help advance the knowledge guiding journalists and decision makers. And then you have the more sophisticated and complex matter of geolocation, which newspapers have used, especially as we saw when Al Ahli Hospital was targeted and there was some confusion as to the origin and the timing of the trajectory of the rockets. This has helped kind of unveil the wall of lies that governments and armies hide behind to justify after the fact what has happened.